deadlines, Binta, right?
What the heck? You already started?
I pressed it.
Oh, really?
I'm excited. Did I send you?
Yeah.
Some people's been asking about a question and answer video. There's like questions that I've made up, and there's also questions that other people on Instagram have asked me, so I'm just here to answer them today. Let's go!
So, first question. Which country are you from?
I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
I don't look like Canadian though, I know. Don't worry, I get that a lot. So I'm from Canada, and then yeah, that's question 1.
Why did you apply for KGSP?
Because I passed all the deadlines for a master's program in Canada. So I was like, well, why not just travel the world again? Also, I think that urban design in Korea is really, really awesome, so it's perfect. It all worked out for me. So.
The application process like? Good question.
Good question. How was it? Well, like I think like the application process for every country is different. As for Canada, it was pretty straightforward. I mean, but the site itself is not very clear, I would love to say. It was very like disorganized. Did you feel that way, Binta?
Yes.
It was disorganized and like it didn't feel legit enough for me. It didn't feel real. Like the application, I mean, it was also a lot of waiting too. Like it was like you apply and then you wait like a couple months and then you get the results and then you wait again. So it was like a lot of waiting. The Korean government gives out about 700 graduate scholarships every year. So I mean, I can see why it takes a long time. Takes a long time to go through the application process. And I guess a lot of people per country also, because they only cap it at 2 people per country. Well, for Canada it was only 2 people. How many people for Senegal?
4.
So and 4 people for Senegal, and then like the countries with a lot of people, I felt like were like Indonesia. I think Indonesia. But once you got going, it wasn't that bad. I mean, they send you emails. You always have to call the embassy. But I mean, it can get better.
Question 4. What is your Korean background?
Actually, before I came here, I did a 6-week program, like summer program at Yonsei International Summer School. I mean, it's not like I learned a lot. So before, when I came here to Pai, I only really knew like 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, and I also knew like the easy verbs like 가다, 오다, 학교, like just like really, really simple words. And I got placed in like the 3rd class, like the 3rd highest class. I struggled, but really like before coming here, my background was literally like at 0.
Yes, if you study, it would be okay, right?
Study? Don't be like Binta though.
What?
I'm just kidding, she studies a lot.
Okay, so question 5. What to expect when moving to Korea?
So when moving to Korea, I think one of the biggest issues before coming was we made a big Pai Chai group before coming, and so we got to kind of see everybody before in the group. But then the issue came was when everybody started going. So just make sure you have like your transfer visas wherever country you're coming from. Transfer visas, you have your, what else do you need? Transfer visa, and like you have your just make sure you have all your documents. And then there's also like the amount of luggage that you can bring. Some, like for me from Canada, I was able to bring a total like 2 big luggages for a total of like 50 kilos, 40 kilos, something like 100 pounds, okay? And then like other countries like Christy, like Panama, were only allowed to bring like 1 suitcase over. So make sure you can pack your life and just pack the most important things into like the amount that they give you to bring over, because it does depend on their airline. And then basically when you get to the airport, there will be someone from the international office here at Pai Chai that will pick you up and then buy you a ticket to come to Daejeon from the Incheon airport. And you just have to make sure you guys get off at 정부초청외국인장학생, which is the government complex station. And then someone from the school will pick you up there, and then you guys will taxi together to the dorm to drop your stuff off. But I mean, it might not be 정부초청사 for you, so just make sure that you remember what the name is before coming. So PJ has like there's like how many dorms? There's like a lot of dorms here. So there's a PB dorm, a PA for girls, and then there's like one for the Chinese, we call it like the Chinese student dorm because there's a lot of Chinese people there. And then there's CURFEW, which is the international dorm, and then there's also like dorms off campus. So the dorm that when we arrived in PB and we stayed in there for a couple days for the people in CURFEW to kind of like leave. So we stayed in PB for a couple days, which was the boys' dorm. I mean, the building itself is really nice, but I don't know how people stay in that. Like poor Binta, she said she fell off the bed a couple times because she's so like tall and the beds were like so short and they're like bunk beds and you're stuck in like, so like the 4-person room is smaller than this 2-person room that we get. So it was kind of like really stuffy, so I don't know how people like bring their stuff. In dormitory, what are the dormitories like? Yo, CURFEW is great. CURFEW is luxury. I mean, I love it in here. Do you love it in here?
Yes!
We love it in here. It's just like, I mean, the thing is that just expect that there's a lot of rules that you have to follow. So no cooking, you gotta like, there's a curfew, so you be back by 11, there's a roll call, there's cleaning roll call. I mean, for the most part, CURFEW is the best dorm on this campus, so just stay here. And then there's also off-dormitory dorms, which you can apply for 6 months after you stay in CURFEW, if you're a KGSP student like us. Oh,
what do you think about the curfew?
What do I think about the curfew? I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. The thing is that I don't go out all the time. So there's no need for me to stay past like 12 a.m. But I mean, like there's some days, there's 1 or 2 days where you actually do want to go out past 1 or 2 and you can't come back until 6 a.m. So I mean, it's kind of like, what can you do? Yeah, I gotta give and take. I mean, they don't really have like the best like entrance and exit system for the dormitory, so like there's not a good way to like keep track of when you're in or out. They're kind of different from the bigger schools. Like the bigger schools, they have like the whole like door where you tap your card and it opens for one person, you tap your card, it opens for the next person. But this one, it's kind of like you tap a door, you tap the card to open the door and everybody can go in and everybody can come in. So I mean, I guess it's part of like a security issue, I guess, too. And it's because the dormitory managers aren't here 24/7 like the other bigger like the bigger schools have. So I guess it's just to make sure like all the students are accounted for.
What's Korean language school like when you first arrived?
When I first arrived, I knew nothing, and I got placed in the 3rd, so 정반, which was the 3rd of the 3 of the 4 classes, the 3rd highest of the 4. Is that how you explain it? Yeah. So, and I knew nothing. The reason I got placed in that class was because I knew how to perform like a simple sentence. And I think I was like one of the lowest level people in the class and I struggled. Like it was hard. I stayed up to like for one sheet of paper or one sheet of homework, it took me like, I think 3 hours to finish when I first got here. But now if I was to do it again, it would take me like 15 minutes. So I mean, when you first get here, it's going to be hard, but it'll get easier. So when we first arrived, we had an orientation. Orientation is when they explain to you all the KGSP rules, and then they also give you a placement test, and that placement test determines what class you end up in. So the first class is usually for people that don't know any Korean language, like no alphabet, and just nothing. And then the second class is for people who know the alphabet and can read. And then the third class is for people who can put together like sentences, but they're not good enough for the highest class. And the highest class is just all the elite people that came already knowing Korean. And then, but I mean like the dormitory, like not the dormitory, the language school, 어학원 teachers are very nice here. I mean like, I've heard from previous students that they didn't like it here. They was like they weren't supportive, but I mean for our year, they changed. Like our teachers, we love every single one of them. They're so supportive and so happy. And yeah, it's just great. I really do love our teachers. Do you like your teachers?
I know. Big up teachers, 선생님들!
사랑해요. Who's your favorite?
Of course, everybody know. 박근비,
박근비,
송영주
선생님. We have to say 선생님 there because this is like a video that's going on YouTube. So make sure you add 선생님 at the end of it.
Actually, what does a day in PJ look like?
Basically, I wake up thing is, I don't shower in the morning, so I wake up at like 8:15, get ready, eat some breakfast, which is like cereal plus milk, and then head out the door at around 8:50, arrive to class by 9, and then we usually stay in class from 9 to 1, and then 9 to 1, and then we also have to meet the requirements for topic classes, which is the proficiency for language, for Korean language. So we have to take those classes, I think it's about 4 hours a week? 4 hours a week about for topic classes. So when you finish class from 9 to 1, you get a lunch break from 1 to 2, and then you go back to class from 2 to 4, and then they just teach you about a lot of topic related stuff. And then that goes on, and then once you take your topic exam, you kind of get a break of topic classes for a couple of weeks, and then you start up again. Is that my day? And then I come back. I come back and I do my homework and I sleep. Unless people want to go out to have coffee or something, I don't really do much.
When do you get paid?
When do we get paid? So for Pai Chai, like for our KGSP year, we got paid on the 5th of every month. So the 5th of every month, and sometimes they're delayed, sometimes they're not, and usually it's funny because sometimes they'll tell you that, oh, the payment's going to be delayed for this month, but it ends up coming back on time anyways. They just want to make sure that you guys kind of like budget for the amount of money that they give you, and for a budget for the amount of money that you have remaining at the end of the month, because everybody spends all their money when they first get it, and then they have no money, and they're poor rice and tuna like lunches and dinners every single day until they get paid again.
What were some of the things you had to do once you were?
Let's see. Okay, so one of the things we did when we came was the school got us together. We did a medical checkup. Let's see the list here. We got our bank account set up. We also had to apply for our ARC, which is our alien registration card. So basically for that, you would just give all your documents to the school, and the school would actually just apply for you. And then you just have to go to the immigration office later on after that's done, and then you just gotta register your fingerprints. What we need?
Yeah.
Okay, so ARC, we need make sure you have a
2 hours later.
application. Number 1, application.
Picture.
You need a picture, a 4.5 centimeter by 3.5 centimeter picture, color photo, white background, and then you need your passport, and you need 30,000 won to apply. And then depending if you're applying or extending your visa, there's also other documents that you need, but make sure before you come you get everything notarized, and so you have like real copies of your things, and then you should be okay. Just make sure you bring everything, and then whatever the school needs, they'll ask you for it. But just make sure the big things are money, application, picture, and passport.
Good.
I think. I could be wrong.
How did you pick up the language so well? Was the program helpful?
Okay, so this was a question that was asked by one of my Instagram followers.
Whoa.
Well, I didn't actually pick up. I think the reason why I picked it up faster was because I had a background in Chinese. Because a lot of words in Korean are really like the sound wise are very similar to Chinese in Korean. Did I say that right? Korean sounds similar to Chinese. Chinese sounds similar to Korean. So I picked out some of the words quicker that way, but I think it just took a lot of homework. The thing is, for me, I did my homework every day. So make sure if you do your homework every day and you understand all the contents that are being taught in class, then you will be able to pick up the language pretty quick. And the thing is, like, people were like, oh, I go out and have like Korean friends. Well, I didn't have that many Korean friends to be studying, but I just made sure that once you get your homework feedback back, usually all teachers will give you, you hand in your homework, they give you back your homework, and they'll make edits on it, or they'll make you do corrections. Make sure you do those corrections, and then you figure out what you do wrong, and then you can fix it again for next time, and then you won't make those mistakes again. And then I guess that's how I picked it up quicker. That's how I picked it up, I guess, quickly. But then again, it's a very demanding and intense language course, so if you don't pick it up quick enough, then you're in trouble.
Study.
Just looking at the camera. Study.
What's the best restaurant around Pai Chai University? And how is the cafeteria there?
So this was also from another person from Instagram, and this person, or not this person. So restaurant-wise, there's cafeterias around school. There's one that we always went to when we first got here, and that was called, we just call it Toshirak. But it's literally like right beside Sojipir by the post office. And literally in there, they're just like bento boxes of like food for you. And they have a ton of variety, and I think that tastes really, really good. And then there's another restaurant in the boys' dormitory in PB where you go under, and then they have like basic like Korean, like classic Korean dishes there. So they have like what's that really cheap thing called? Literally rice with a bunch of like side dishes. They have that for like $3.
I already forget because I didn't like it.
and then there's like other, and then they have like other like specialties throughout the day, but you can get like ramen there and other things. And then there's also like a cafe that I never went to, but it's down there. And then there's also a teacher's restaurant where you can apparently go to, but I've never done. I usually just eat in the room. Oh, and also by PJ, right where Toshirak is, there's also like, there's a toast place right beside it you can get toast from. And then you can also get, if you go out, there's also a place called PJ Snack. You can also get a lot of Korean things there too. Like your traditional ajuma place that sells like kimbap, bibimbap, tteokbokki, what else is that? Ramyeon. I mean, it is good there, so I think I recommend that over the student cafeteria in PB. And then, restaurants around PJ. So if you go back to the back gate, there's a lot of restaurants. There's not that many, but there's like this one place that we go to, and I forget what it's called, but it's like, I want to say it's called like Tonkatsu or something like that. But they sell tonkatsu, and it's like right in front of the Isaac Toast Cafe. So, I mean, a lot of people go there. So, I mean, you'll figure it out if you come. So, our favorite thing to order there was called the tteokbegi bulgogi, which is like a lot of beef and really salty food, like salty soup, plus a bowl of rice. And the reason why we like that place is because they have a ton of side dishes, and it's just like amazing. Especially if you're a big eater like Binta is.
Yes.
And the thing is, like, it's unlimited. And then when you go out to the Cheongmun in the front gate, what matchips are there in the front gate? I mean, we go to this place called 배재대 돈가스, which is like you go down the main road and kind of make a right after, like right when you see like the 1 liter cafe. And that place is also pretty good, but that's also like another like ajuma ajashi like run restaurant. But I don't know. I mean, PJ for the most part doesn't have that many like good tasting food. It's just a bunch of like, there's just a lot of like aunts and uncles like opening up restaurants. I mean, but I'm sure there's a lot though. It's just we've never really been out because we want to save money, and so we eat in the room all the time.
Y'all will see.
You will all understand when you guys experience the first 6 months of this program.
Let's memory during this time at PG.
Oh, guess who asked this one?
I make kind of to eat.
Milandu! Okay, so my best memory was probably making like a lot of friends from across the world. Like I made, like, to be very honest, I haven't heard of like, I mean I probably have, but it doesn't like stick to me, but I haven't heard of like Senegal, Panama. And it's funny because 2 of my best friends from this program are from Senegal and Panama.
Russia.
And I mean, I know Russia. I mean, Russia shows up on the news all the time. Of course, Russia, but I'm talking about the countries I've never heard of before.
That's true.
Yeah, like Senegal, Panama, and there's like a lot of like other of the Stan countries. Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, then yeah, so making friends like you, Milandu, because he asked this question. But no, there's a lot of people here that you'll meet, and I mean, like, I guess before you come, just make sure, like, just keep this in mind that everybody, like, coming from a different background, so just make sure you kind of like embrace the different cultures that you have, and just make sure, just be aware that there will be different opinions, and there will be people with different cultures and different ways of thinking.
Let's talk about PJ tips, shortcuts, student card, insurance, buildings, and
PJ tips. So what kind of tips we got for new PJ comers, Binta? So first of all are the shortcuts, because you don't want to be climbing a mountain every day. So the shortcuts is literally you would go into this building called 23대 like building. So it's the P building, or also called the 21st century building, and you kind of like take the elevator to the 4th floor, and then you kind of like make your way around, and you go out, and then go into a building called the G building, and then take that also to the 4th floor, and then that way you have a easier, less strenuous way of getting to the dorm. And their ID card also works for opening a lot of the buildings in the campus, even after hours. And then student card, don't lose it like Vinta did. That's all I can say for your student card. She threw it out in the garbage like it was just... And she will never get a new one because it's too late to get a new one. And then for insurance, so when you get hurt, the school actually has insurance for all the students here. So if you get hurt, then all you really have to do is to, like, once you go to the hospital, you pay for your bill, and then you get the bill, and you bring it to the office, and you fill out a form. And then you fill out that form, and then you have to make sure you give them a photocopy of your ARC and your bank book, which they can do in the office, and then in about 2 weeks' time, they'll refund that money back into your bank account. It's about like 80%, I want to say, about 80%. And then, yeah, I just want to say that all the buildings at Pai Chai are named after letters. They're abbreviated into letters, so they're easier. So it's easier for you to navigate around the building. But yeah, I mean, that's all the questions I have. Vinta, do you have questions?
Okay, we are about to move, right?
We are about to move.
Your last word for Pai Chai University.
My last words for Pai Chai University? It's been a great time.
We miss you!
It really has been a great time. I mean, the university is small, not many people know it, but I mean, if you're in Korea in general for learning language, Pai Chai University is the place to go for learning languages. The teachers are amazing here, and I mean, they also have their own Korean books, which I really enjoy their books here, like their Korean textbooks. And then I also do really love this dormitory. If I can take it with me, I would take it with me. Because I'm getting ready to be downgraded when I move to my dormitory in my grad school. But yeah, that's all the questions that I have for today, and thank you to those who have submitted questions, and thank you to Vinta for being my question asker for today.
Hey, what's up?
And I guess if you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments below or send me a message. I mean, I'll try. I'm not very good at responding to messages, but I will try. I mean, you will eventually get a response is what I'm gonna say. And then, yeah, if you like it, then you can like, comment, and subscribe. And then maybe next week, we're gonna film a dorm tour, because right now we are in the middle of moving. So we got, here, I'll show you actually. You see this? We got all of our stuff ready. We're packed into boxes, and we're ready. We're getting ready to send everything. So when that comes around, when my room is a little more organized and a little more clean, then we'll do a dorm tour sometime next week. And then Vinta will help me. She's gonna get dressed and she's gonna show her face.
Always.
Bye.